Welcome to this episode of My VA Disability Claims. Today we're going to talk about filing mental health conditions. Just going to give you a few quick tips for filing mental health conditions, a few reminders, things that you may have overlooked, right? Things that could help you to develop potentially new claims. All right, we'll get right into it. First off, what is mental health condition compensation? Well, that's medical treatment, medical coverage, right? And monthly compensation for service-connected mental health conditions, insomnia, anxiety, depression, PTSD, just to name a few. And the list goes on and on. That's in the 9,000s or above in terms of diagnostic code. And you can find that in the rating schedule. All right, so let's get right into it. What's important? Number one, the rating schedule, right? Looking in that rating schedule just to make sure you have that evidence required for that rating. All right, for mental health specifically, you can get a 0% rating, which you still get medical coverage, right? You get a 10% rating, a 30% rating, 50%, 70%, or 100%. And in the rating schedule, it breaks it down and shows you, right, this evidence would constitute a 0%, this evidence would constitute a 50%, this evidence would, so on and so forth, right? That's why we say look at the rating schedule to make sure you have the evidence needed to get that rating that you deserve. And you can Google the rating schedule. Just go to Google, ECFR 38 Part 4. Right? CFR is Code of Federal Regulations for every industry. We're not going to get into it. But you can Google it, right? The Code of Federal Regulations. That's where all the rules are. Part 4 specifically gives you that rating schedule for disabilities. All right. Number two, official medical diagnosis. This is a big one, especially if you're getting treatment or being given medicine for something. You want to make sure you have a medical diagnosis for that condition. All right, don't just get the treatment. You also want to make sure that in your records there's an official medical diagnosis. If you ever wonder if there is or isn't, just ask your doctor directly. Right? Do I or do I not have an official medical diagnosis? All right. The in-service event evidence, that's major as well, right? Especially if it's non-combat. If it's combat, then just showing that you were in that zone and you're pretty much good to go. If it's non-combat, you're going to have to produce evidence of that event, right? Whatever that traumatic event was. And that could be a police report, right? Incident report from your base, or a testimony of folks saying that they witnessed or were there when this thing happened to you, whatever that traumatic event was that led to the mental health condition that you're filing for. All right, so that's number two. Number three, mental health conditions could be secondary to other conditions, right? TBI is a big one. If you have that traumatic brain injury, mental health conditions are commonly secondary to TBI, right? I've also seen back pain, where you're having back pain and that leads to mental health conditions or other physical ailments that can lead to things like depression, right? So keep in mind that some physical conditions can lead to a secondary mental health condition as well. And then for the reverse, right? Mental health could lead to secondary conditions, right? ED is a big one, erectile dysfunction. That is a big one. Mental health could lead to that erectile dysfunction on the male side. On the female side, female arousal disorder, right? Those mental health conditions could lead to female arousal disorder as well. And then migraines is a very common one also. As a result of mental health conditions, folks commonly get migraines, right? So, and that's it, right? Keeping it quick, keeping it simple. As always, learn the information, use the information, and if you deem it to be valuable, share the information. Hey, happy hunting, huh?